Hi, I'm Sister Simone Campbell. I'm the Executive Director of Network, Lobby for Catholic Social Justice, and thank you for joining us. Today, we are having an important conversation about what happened in the last session of the 116th Congress. And let me welcome my colleague, Laura Peralta Schulte, who is our chief lobbyist and major guru of all things on the Hill. Welcome, Laura. Glad you're with us.
Oh, so wonderful to be with you, Simone, and celebrate our victories and just talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things I think people have to remember as we look at the scorecard this time is that the first session of the 116th Congress, the House of Representatives was super busy. They passed a lot of really important legislation that first year. And if you'll recall, the Senate did nothing. We were unable to score any, any of the Senate votes. But this past year, 2020, was a bit different. So we're going to take some time today and talk about that. So, Laura, talk to me about what were some of the high points for you in the Congress last year? What were some of the important bills that did get passed?
Sure, Simone. I think that the piece that where there was some goodwill, as you recall, particularly at the beginning, was the COVID situation. It was planned that COVID. We had a whisper about COVID in January, but I guess I didn't, and I don't think we anticipated just how devastating that virus would be from both a health and an economic standpoint. So you'll see on the scorecard that we did score the COVID bills. And you will also see, we can talk about this, Simone, that the difference between the springtime and the fall, there was a whole period where action was needed but not taken. But I do think it's important to just center on those areas where we did, move forward in the Congress. And COVID was definitely a high point, I think, particularly at the beginning.
Right. And right now, it seems hard to remember that what a surprise the pandemic was and how we were so unused to being working virtually, being separated, staying home. And Congress took some time to adapt too. Um, in addition to the COVID pieces, what do you think we learned, if anything, in this past session of Congress?
I think we learned that we have a very flexible system, Simone. As Congress was scrambling to figure out how to do their work, we were too. And it was funny. We count up every month how many lobby visits we have, just to keep track of how we're doing, and the numbers grew. So the emergency did not shut us down. It actually made us better in terms of the work. I thought that was a very interesting thing to know, that it was an innovation and just a modification. I think the other learning is that, and I know a lot of folks listening are probably across America, this opens up so many opportunities, the virtual world, to bring constituents into our work. So where we were most effective, I think, in convincing some very tough customers that they should be taking action on healthcare or on tax justice, the ability to bring folks in from Iowa or from Wisconsin or Alabama made a huge difference. So I think innovation was the result, that where we saw changes in the way we work, which actually made us, I think, more effective.
That's a really important point because one of the things that I think I learned is as long as we stay focused on mission, we can adapt, change, figure out our tactics, but the mission becomes the critical piece. I think that for me was a really big learning. Some of this legislation that passed the House, are you expecting to see that didn't make it in the Senate. Are you expecting to see some of that back in the 117th Congress? How do you think that's going to shake out?
Yeah, well, not only the latter part of the work last year, so that's things like the Pregnancy Protection Act or the PRO Act or other really wage sorts of work. I'm hoping that we see the first 10 bills that were in the first session, because as we were talking about earlier today, it is no lie that there was a huge graveyard in the Senate. And so both from last session and the session before, there are bills that have gone through the House that are really poised, particularly with the configuration of the Senate, to move forward. So I would certainly expect that the bills that passed last session, there'd be an attempt to get those done in the 117th Congress. There is so much to do, Simone. So I think the question really becomes what goes first, what goes second. But the idea that we are going to see this legislation up again and hopefully, for signature on the president's desk, that is the hope.
Oh, I love it, Laura. I love it. I've been using the image at the office with the staff is that this has been like a roller coaster ride, and where it's the creep up, where you get pulled to the top. And in a sense, that's what the last session of Congress was, pulling us to the top. And now we're just at the point where we're going to tip over and then whoosh, we're going to be busy. I hope y'all are ready for this. We're going to need you. That's for sure, like never before. All right. So, as we look at some of the important things that passed last session, or at least got taken up, it strikes me that some of the COVID pieces became cover for some of our other bigger legislative issues. Do you want to talk about some of the ways that we made progress on the big issues while just focused on the pandemic?
So cover is one way to look at it, but I think we would have framed it in terms of our work is we know that there's so many gaps that exist, and for the last 4 years we have been solely focused on mending the gap. So we were slightly opportunistic in terms of those bills, to see how do we get these pieces that we know are problematic, or these help for folks that we know are problematic. How do we get them into these bills? By the way, they're exactly what people need. So for example, as COVID was being discussed, the question of is there family leave became a live one. And so we were able to kind of weave that into the conversation. We know that people are taxed into poverty, and that child poverty is at historic heights. So we were able to put in legislation to help folks that get the refundable credits. We know housing is an issue. We know all of these things that we've been working on for years. Frankly, the impacts of COVID revealed, I think, more clearly how necessary all these things are. So yes, we took advantage of the COVID opportunity because they were a remedy that was necessary. As we're looking at building back better, you bet we're going to be insisting on housing for all and care for all. I mean, that's, I loved how you said that is mission. And so the symmetry is there. We just have to work to be effective to get it in.
Absolutely. And I remember a conversation I had with Speaker Pelosi where she was so adamant that we were going to use this moment to make positive change for people in crisis. And she said something to the effect of never let a crisis go unused, and that we needed to make sure that we were better off after the crisis because we had responded to the needs of our people. I think you said it really, she said it well. And I think, Laura, you embody that. You embody that opportunity that we have. As we look at some of our other issues, democracy was really challenged over the last months. And I know we've talked often at the office about how anxiety producing and how scary January 6th was with the attempted insurrection. But I wonder if you could talk a bit about some of the efforts made in the last session, some of the historic one steps that we made that could be seen as work for us now going into this next session of Congress.
Simone, you know, we had to look back and remember when we were getting ready this voting opportunity to see like what votes were there at the beginning of the year. We started an impeachment. We started an impeachment, and that is all about accountability, because what we know is that the system through the Trump administration had really been stripped down to the core. And that they were using the systems of democracy in very dangerous ways. So for us, the impeachment piece, it was really important for us to weigh into that because we're talking about the foundations of our democracy. That your campaign work and the campaign work of everybody out there who's listening to this, you know, we know where the vulnerabilities are in our electoral system. And we know where the vulnerabilities are in terms of manipulation, so that folks who have power and money have access, and it's a challenge to prioritize the common good. So we do know this year with democracy that both the House and Senate have decided to try to pass democracy bill. It is HR 1. It is S1 in the House. And that shows prioritization. So we know that effort is going to continue. And Simone, you can talk about the challenges when you're meeting people on the road. You know, the power dynamic is real. And so we need to make sure that our systems are such that, you know, they benefit the common good and not the powerful. And that's a challenge particularly without reform.
Absolutely, Laura. And I think you raise a really important point that it's legislation, but it's also implementation. And the big lies that were told by the president and his supporters that this election was fraudulent, it was stolen, you know, all the bad sport approaches when we know there was no evidence of fraud. So, but we still are in a nation where there's a significant percentage that don't believe that President Biden is a legitimate president. So it means that we're going to have some extra work to do. And everybody listening in, we're going to have to be missionaries for our democracy, because it really is a very challenging time, a very challenging time.
Simone, can I just mention one thing? And it's really for the folks listening that are faith leaders or people of faith, I think we play a very important role. And, you know, network and our faith partners don't count anybody out in terms of who we're talking to. So I frankly talk to more Republicans oftentimes than I do Democrats, because the Republican work is the missionary work. So even though folks are likely seeing on social media and, you know, in different spaces, you know, how, you know, there are a bunch of folks working on democracy, I think where our network comes to this issue is at a different place, so that we are bridge builders. And so I just wanted to oftentimes, you know, you can do work with a number of different good nonprofit partners. And I just want to really say that the faith space in democracy is really a space that is a good investment in time.
And I love, Laura, that you use the image that Pope Francis used when he talked to Congress. And he said that he was called to be a bridge builder among people and to urge everyone to do likewise. So, with that segue, I think thank you for sharing with us what happened in the past. And as you can tell, there's work for all of you in our listening audience to do that is critically important. So thank you, Laura. And let me invite in Catherine Gillette, who is one of our grassroots mobilization team members. And Catherine's going to talk a bit about the work that needs to be done. Catherine, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Sister Simone, and thank you to you and Laura for that great overview. It was very helpful. And thank you to everyone who is tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. We are so glad to have you with us. So, usually with the voting record, we like to do in-person deliveries. We take lots of pictures. It's lots of fun. Unfortunately, this year, that's not possible due to the pandemic. However, we do have some new opportunities for you all to engage and lift up the voting record. So this morning, you may have received an email from our communications team encouraging you to email your member of Congress the voting record. And so we hope you will participate and send an email to your member of Congress with the voting record and their score, either congratulating them or encouraging them to maybe do a little better next year and to work with us. And so I think we have a link for that. And maybe not. We'll make sure that, yeah, there you go. Excellent. The voting record link. So we hope that you will send an email to your member of Congress about the voting record score. Also this year, we are looking for some folks, some volunteers to write letters to the editor to either thank your member of Congress for their wonderful score or to hold them accountable for their score. LTEs are a very powerful advocacy tool. They are among the most widely read section of the paper, and they are monitored closely by member of Congress offices. So they are certainly paying attention, especially if you include the member of Congress's name in your letter to the editor. It's a great way to help shape the public narrative by educating readers about how your member of Congress voted on a particular issue. So it's a very, very helpful tool. And so we hope that many of you will participate in writing letters to the editor about the voting record. So if you do, as you can see, there is a link on our website to get some more information about that. And please, please, please keep us posted. If you submit in a letter to the editor, if you get a letter to the editor published, please let us know. I know our lobbyists, our government relations team, would love to bring those letters up with them to the Hill, to the members of Congress's offices. So please let us know if you get anything published. And lastly, we talked a little bit about the voting record and how folks voted last year. But if you're curious about Network's policy priorities for 2021, we encourage you to check out our 2021 Legislative Agenda webinar taking place this Thursday at 4 p.m. on Zoom. So even if you are unavailable, I encourage you to register because everyone who registers will receive a recording so you can watch it at your leisure. But it'll be full of good information about what to expect in the coming year and what we have to look forward to, as well as some good opportunities for advocacy and engagement. So I think that is all the news from me. I hope to see you on Thursday, and thank you all in advance for your advocacy.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. We certainly have a lot of ways to engage our field this year and make sure that we make some of the change that we've been working towards. It's now all up to us to make that difference. So thank you so much for that. And to acknowledge our 100%ers from around the country, we have a special treat. We have watched amazing experiences at the Democratic National Convention, at the inauguration, where we've seen virtually our experience across the land. Well, ours is not quite such a high production value, but it comes with our heart, where our members across the country have submitted videos to express their gratitude to their members of Congress. And so let us see, enjoy, savor, and be willing to move forward from this moment with gratitude that we have made a difference so far and with commitment. Our mission is not ended, that's for sure. We've got a lot of work to do, but together in community, we can make it happen. So let us see a bit of our community around the country. Let's see these videos. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, my name is Sister Julie Furch, and I'm a sister of St. Joseph.
And I'm Colin Longmore, and we're from California. Greetings from the Golden State.
On behalf of network members across the country and across the state, we'd like to congratulate the following members of Congress on their 100% score on the network voting record.
Representatives Huffman, Garamendi, Thompson, Matsui, and Barra.
Representatives McNerney, Harder, Desaulniers, Pelosi, and Lee.
Representatives Spear, Swalwell, Costa, Khanna, and Eshu.
Representatives Loughran, Panetta, Cox, Carbajal, and Brownlee.
Representatives Chu, Schiff, Cardenas, Sherman, and Aguilar.
Representatives Napolitano, Liu, Gomez, Torres, and Ruiz.
Representatives Bass, Sanchez, Cisneros, Roybal Allard, and Takano.
Representatives Waters, Barragan, Porter, Brea, and Lowenthal.
Representatives Ruda, Levin, Vargas, Peters, and Davis.
And Senators Feinstein and Harris.
Hello, my name is Sarah Marine, and I'm from the beautiful state of Colorado. I'm on the network board of directors, and I'd like to thank you and congratulate you on achieving a perfect 100% score on the network voting record. Your support of efforts to mend the gaps in this country on social justice issues such as voting rights, healthcare, housing, and fair wages is more important now than ever. And I'm proud to boast that 5 members of Congress from Colorado have achieved this score. So congratulations to Senator Bennett, Representative DeGette, Representative Crow, Representative Neguse, and Representative Perlmutter, who represents my district. Keep up the good work.
Hi, my name is Elena Boyle and I grew up here in Connecticut. On behalf of network members across the state, I wanted to thank Representative Wilson, Representative Himes, Representative Delora, Representative Courtney, Representative Hayes, Senator Murphy, and Senator Blumenthal for their 100% score on network 2020 voting record. We love our Connecticut delegate and we are so proud to have you representing us in DC. Thank you so much.
I'm Ann Lee from Florida, the world-renowned Everglades National Park and the endangered Florida panther. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to congratulate Representatives Lawson, Soto, Demings, Christ, Castor, Hastings, Frankel, Deutsch, Wasserman Schultz, Wilson, Mucarsel, Powell, and Shalala on their 100% score on Network's 2020 voting record. Congratulations and thank you.
I'm Sister Bernadine Carney from Illinois, the Prairie State, and the land of Lincoln. On behalf of network members across the state, I would like to congratulate the following members of Congress on their 100% score on the network voting records. Senators Duckworth and Durbin, Representatives Rush, Kelly, Lipinski, Garcia, Quigley, Caston, Danny Davis, Krishnamurthy, Schakowsky, Schneider, Foster, Underwood, and Bustos.
Hi, I'm Sister Joni Luna from Indiana, Crossroads of America. On behalf of network members across the state, I would like to congratulate Representatives Pete Veslowski and Andre Carson on scoring 100% on the network voting record. Way to go.
Hi, I'm John Noble, a network member from Des Moines, Iowa. And on behalf of Spirit-filled network members across the state, I'd like to thank Representative Dave Loebsack for voting for COVID relief in 2020 and for being the only member of the Iowa delegation to receive a 100% on Network's 2020 voting record.
Hello, my name is Sister Jean Ann Zappa. I'm a proud citizen of Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm also very happy to congratulate Representative John Yermuth, who has a 100% voting record with the values of network. So we thank you, Representative Yarmouth, for your values, for your commitment to social justice, and we wish you well as you continue to do your service. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sister Mary Beth Ham, and I hail from the Old Line State, the birthplace of our national anthem, the Preakness, and of course, delicious Maryland crab cakes. On behalf of network members throughout the state of Maryland, I would like to congratulate our members of Congress for achieving a 100% score on Network's 2020 voting record. Kudos go to Representatives Ruppersberger, Hoyer, Trone, Raskin, Brown, Enfume, and Sarbanes, as well as our Senators Ben Cardin and Chris Van Hollen. Kudos to you. You are the best. Thanks so much for voting Network's priorities.
Hello, I'm Sister Patricia Heath from the great state of Massachusetts, home of the New England Patriots, Boston Celtics, Boston Bruins, and the places of rest and beauty on Cape Cod. On behalf of network members across the state of Massachusetts, I'd like to thank and congratulate our representatives Neal, McGovern, Trahan, Kennedy, Clark, Moulton, Presley, Lynch, and Keating, and our senators Markey and Warren for their 100% score on the network voting record. What a gift. Thanks again.
I'm Cherie Mollison from the Great Lakes state of Michigan, where we are blessed with nearly 3,000 miles of freshwater shoreline, more than anywhere else in the country. On behalf of network members throughout Michigan, I would like to congratulate our members of Congress for achieving a 100% score on the network voting record. They are Representatives Dingle, Kildee, Levin, Lawrence, Slotkin, Stevens, and Tlaib, and our senators Peters and Stabenow. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hi, my name is Leah Omar, and these are my children. This is Khalil, and this is Scarlett, and we are in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis has been a great place to live and to exist as we currently reckon with our racial equity issues, and we've been excited to be here on the front lines. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to congratulate our Minnesota representatives Craig, Phillip, McCullum, and Omar. And although I love them all, Omar is kind of a family favorite because we share her last name. I'd also like to thank our incredible U.S. senators from Minnesota, Klobuchar and Smith. And I'd also just like to say congratulations to all of them on their 100% score on the network voting record. Thank you so much for representing Minnesota so well. Bye.
Hi, my name is Audrey Carroll. I'm from Missouri, home state of reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. On behalf of network members from across the state, I would like to congratulate Representative Clay and Representative Cleaver II for scoring 100% on network's voting record. Hi, my name is Elena Boyle from Montana, the last best place. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to congratulate Senator Tester for his 100% score on network's 2020 voting record. Thanks so much, Senator.
I'm Sister Andrea Coverman from New Mexico, the land of enchantment. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to thank and congratulate Representatives Holland and Lujan and Senators Heinrich and Udall for their 100% score on the network voting record.
Hello, I'm Sister Carol D'Angelo, a member of Network and a Sister of Charity of New York.
Hi, and I'm Sister Betsy Van Duzen, a member of Network, former nun on the bus, and a Sister of St. Joseph of Carondelet from Schenectady, New York.
On behalf of Network members across the state, we'd like to congratulate the following members of Congress on their 100% score on the network voting record.
We'd like to thank Representatives Swayze, Rice, Meeks, Mang, Velasquez.
Representatives Jeffries, Clark, Nadler, Rose, Carolyn Maloney, Espaillat.
Representatives Serrano, Engel, Lowy, Sean Patrick Maloney, and Delgado.
Representatives Tonko, Brindisi, Morelli, Higgins, and Senator Gillibrand.
And Senator Schumer.
Thank you so much for all your work and hard efforts.
We are so grateful.
Hello, my name is Anna Harrington, pastor and priest of Free Spirit Inclusive Catholic Community in Greenville, North Carolina. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to congratulate Representatives Butterfield, Price, and Adams for their 100% score on the network voting record. Keep up the good work. We need you more than ever. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Bob Close from Cleveland Heights, Ohio, the Green City on the Blue Lake, our nation's north coast. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to congratulate the following members of Congress for their 100% score on the network voting record. The members in Ohio who received a perfect score are Representative Joyce Beatty, Representative Marcy Kaptur, my representative Marcia Fudge, Representative Tim Ryan, and Old Faithful Senator Sherrod Brown. These were and are the best. That's why I'm giving them a shout out. Thanks to them all, and as always, a big thanks to Network.
Hello, we are the Pattersons from Oceanside, Oregon, and we were founding members of EL Catholic Network in East Lansing, Michigan.
We have a nickname for Oregon, the Choir State, because when we submit communications with our representatives, Bonamici, Blumenauer, and DeFazio, and senators Merkley and Wyden, we are speaking to the choir, as their 100% score on the network voting record attests.
We and all network members in Oregon thank each of you for your deep and sustained efforts. Let us hope that your work for bipartisanship will fix the divided states of America.
Hi, I'm Tom Volkert from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where the Declaration of Independence was signed and the Constitution was written. On behalf of network members across the state, I'd like to congratulate the following members of Congress on their 100% score on the network voting record. Representatives Brian Boyle, Dwight Evans, who I'm proud to say is my representative, Madeline Dean, Mary Gay Scanlon, Chrissy Holohan, Matt Cartwright, and Mike Doyle, and Senator Bob Casey. Thank you very much. We look forward to working with you in the coming year.
I'm Nanda Svol from Rhode Island. Network members across the Ocean State join me in congratulating Senator Reid, Senator Whitehouse, Representative Langevin, and Representative Cicilline for scoring 100% on network's voting record. Thank you.
I'm Carolyn Knorr.
And I'm Shane Walvahill.
And this is Lucas and Madeline, and we're from Tennessee,
the Volunteer State. On behalf of network members across the state, we'd like to congratulate Representatives Cooper and Cohen for their 100% score on the network voting record.
Thank you.
I am Donna Meyer from Houston, and on behalf of network members across our great state of Texas, I would like to congratulate and thank the Texas representatives for their 100% scores on the network voting record. Those members in Texas who received a 100% score are Lizzie Fletcher, Al Green, Vincenti Gonzalez, Veronica Escobar, Sheila Jackson Lee, Joaquin Castro, Sylvia Garcia, E.B. Johnson, Colin Allred, Mark Vesey, Philemon Vila, and Lloyd Dockett. Our sincere thanks. Thanks to each of you for your hard work and your participation.
Hello, my name is Mary Farrell from the great state of Virginia. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that Virginia is called the mother of states because portions of the original colony are now part of 6 different states? That's news to me. On behalf of all of our network members across the great state of Virginia, I'd like to congratulate the following members of Congress for their 100% score on the network voting record. Yay! From the House, Representative Scott, Representative McEachin, Representative Byer, Representative Wexton, and Representative Connolly. And from the Senate, Senator Tim Kaine and Senator Mark Warner. Our thanks to all of them.
Hi, I'm Sister Catherine Ferguson from Washington State, the only state named for a U.S. president and which produces more apples than any other state. On behalf of network members across our state, I'd like to congratulate our representatives Susan Delbeni, Rick Larson, Derek Kilmer, Kim Schreier, Adam Smith, Denny Heck, and Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray for their 100% score on the network voting record. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jesse Belcher.
And I'm Molly Belcher.
We're from Charleston, West Virginia.
On behalf of the network members across the state,
We'd like to congratulate Senator Joe Manchin for his 100% score on the network voting record.
Hi, my name is Barbara Farr. I'm a Catholic nun, a member of the School Sisters of Notre Dame. Our mother house is in Elm Grove, Wisconsin, and I want to thank our Wisconsin representatives, Pocan, Kine, and my representative, Gwen Moore, and Senator Tammy Baldwin for their 100% record on the network voting guide. I really appreciate that they have led and voted in line with our Catholic social values. Whether or not they're Catholic, they have led and voted related to our value system, and I really appreciate that. So, every blessing to you and peace to you as well. Thanks.